Hi, and welcome to Jordan's Big 6 in 60 Seconds. Today, we're going to talk about editing an assessment in Mastery Connect. This is the time when you find that assessment, but you don't necessarily like one of the question types. This is how you fix that. So when you have an assessment anywhere, you can find one nationwide. You go over to the three dots on the side, clone that assessment. Now it belongs to you. When you clone that assessment, you can now clone the assessment types within that assessment. You go over to the question type, go to the three dots, clone it. Now that you've cloned it, it's in a draft form and you can change anything about that. So you can change the graphic on there, you can change the question type, you can change the description, you can change the answers. Once you've done all of those things that you want to adjust that question type, then you're going to go down and you're going to hit save draft. So here I am just changing some of the question answers. Now I can save the draft. Once I save the draft, it now belongs there in a brand new question type. I'm going to go up to the one above and I'm going to remove it from this question or from this test so that I have the right ones in there and I don't. Then I go and create the assessment. So now let me walk you through that. So editing assessment questions requires you to clone the assessment. And the reason why is it prevents you from editing assessment questions after they've already been given, and it ensures integrity. So if you change a question, the scores already recorded would no longer accurately reflect how students performed on the original version of that question. So fairness, this allows changing midstream could give an unfair advantage to students who take the assessment later compared to those who already completed it. So it's about integrity and accuracy and fairness. Okay, so you're going to go to Assessment tab on the top of your Mastery Connect. And on that assessment, you can then choose anything, something that you're using, something you created, something you're bookmarked, or search any of the assessments. You can use all three of those for this to work. Then you're going to go over to the right-hand side and you're going to click the three dots. And the three dots is going to give you the option to clone. You're going to clone that assessment. Now, once you do that, I'm going to do an example of that here. You're going to go over, clone the assessment. Now you own that. So once you've cloned it, you've got these question types. Now look over here at this person's clone question type. It's question number 1, 2, 3, 4. This is where you should think about your naming conventions. So I can put it in my own bank. I can put it in the Jordan bank. If I put it in the Jordan, it belongs to, like, anybody can have access to this particular one that I've cloned. Now that it says draft, you see on the left-hand side where it says draft, I now have the ability to change everything within this question type. So I can go in there and now edit, and I can change the question. You see it says, is this right? I can change this is the right one. I can change the question answers, and I can set the answers to be different. So if you had something where it has to be all of them checked or some of them checked and you didn't want that, you can do all or none. Now that I've done that, I can go over and I hit save draft on the right-hand side. Now it's a draft. I need to go back to the original question and I need to remove that from my test so that I don't get confused or so I don't have two of the same ones with just a little bit different in there. So now look through, I've got question number 2, question number 1. That could be a little confusing when you're giving the test. So just think about your naming conventions when you are naming your question types. Now that I've got to this section, I can actually add to this assessment as well. I can author a brand new item, and I can actually go to the item bank and find other questions that are similar to this one and add them to my assessment. So if the assessment was originally 3 to 5 questions and I wanted it to be more like 10, I can go back and add more question types to it and add more assessments or question types into my assessment. So now I have a little bit more robust assessment if I wanted it. In addition, once I do that, I could actually add a question in there and then clone that one and fix or adjust that assessment type. So now I had 3, now I've got 4, and I can go ahead and create that assessment. Now it lives within my test bank, and I can give that test to my students. This has been a Big 6 from 60. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.